Hi everybody, just a quick video today. I'm going to do a straight up comparison between my two solar chronographs. So on the left you have the Citizen EcoDrive and on the right the famous Tactical Frog. Let's not bother with the calipers today. The Citizen is slightly larger with a case diameter of 44mm and the Tactical Frog is a little bit shy of 42. Tactical Frog, for its own part, has a thickness of 13mm, but the Citizen, even with the domed crystal, only has a thickness of about 12mm, which is quite compact. The Citizen weighs in at about 136 grams, but the Tactical Frog comes in at 154 grams, and we'll go into the reasons for that a little bit later. Citizen has domed mineral bugger it. Citizen EcoDrive has a domed mineral crystal, and the Tactical Frog has a flat sapphire crystal with some AR coating on it. Apart from the general appearance of the two watches, there are also some other significant differences between the two. I shall start getting into those now. It's a bit difficult to assess the relative cost given the fact that the ruble fluctuates quite a bit from time to time. I've had this one for about 4 years, and at the time when I bought it from the old-time shop, it cost a little bit shy of £200, which, you know, is a bit more than what you pay in the West, but I think it's reasonable value for money. I bought a Tactical Frog early last year from AliExpress, and it came out at about £135, which I think is incredibly good value for money. On a few details, the bracelet on the Citizen is pretty solid. It has push pins for adjusting it to your wrist size, but there's this pressed clasp. It does, however, have a, let's get it right, you can see that, oh, there we go, a signed buckle. The shell's not too bad, and it has these double pushers like the Tactical Frog does. When I got this, I didn't know much about watches, so I had the bracelet adjusted in the shop, and it's still quite comfortable. The Tactical Frog's bracelet is a bit less jangly. It's quite solid. This came with screw pins and I adjusted it myself. I took out 3 links to fit my 7.5-inch wrist. So the bracelet's good for quite a lot of wrist sizes, and we can make that out. It's also got a signed buckle and twin pushers. I should point out there's a couple of levels of micro adjust on the clasp. You get 3 on the Citizen. You only get 2, but there we go. In terms of general functionality, the two watches are more or less identical, with a couple of exceptions. For example, the makers of the Tactical Frog claim a water resistance of 200 meters, and perhaps to achieve that, they've got screw-in pushers. I won't demonstrate the main crown, it works just like everything else. And then you just push that, off she goes, quite neatly. I won't keep that very long. And then you press the top one to stop again. And then you press this one, and there we go again. Yeah, but I find that these screw-in pushers are a little bit fiddly for my fat hands. And yeah, that one, and then that one. Yeah, but it's okay. It's reasonably well made, and you've got the slightly useless tachymeter, or is it tachymeter? I don't know which it is. There we go. Citizen claimed just 100 meters of water resistance for this model, and it just has simple push buttons for the chrono. There she goes. Stop it. And press that to set everything. It goes all the way around. Whee! Isn't that nice and simple? So far then, the Tactical Frog is slightly ahead in terms of sort of build quality and the overall superiority of the bracelet. However, the point where the Citizen is all over the Tactical Frog like a cheap suit can be summed up with one word: legibility. Tactical Frog isn't too bad in terms of legibility, but you notice that the hands are a little bit small, I think, for the dial, and yeah, you can see the small seconds twizzling around merrily, but I think the chrono sub-dial is a little bit small, whereas you've kept the 24-hour sub-dial quite large. And the date window is, to say the least of it, next to useless. The Citizen, on the other hand, has, I think, a slightly large dial, and they've got the nice big hands, which are always easy to see. The sub-second and the chrono sub-dials are the same size, and perhaps Citizen came to the conclusion that we don't use a 24-hour dial very much, so they made it really nice and small and tucked it away around the 9 o'clock position. So, and the date, while still rather small, is much more legible than the Tactical Frog in my view. I charged up the Lume about 10 minutes ago, and neither of the two watches is particularly good in that respect, but you can see a bit of the EcoDrive because the hands are more or less fully loomed, where you've just got a strip of loom on the Tactical Frog's hands, and you can't see very much. I mean, compare that with our Bernie, which was all of about £60, so it's less than half the price of the Tactical Frog. What can you do? I think in terms of overall dial design, they're both pretty good in their own ways. With the Citizen, you've got a nice green ring that goes around and is matched by the chrono hands. The Tactical Frog has a nice red tip on its chrono hand, and you've got the blue sub-dials that stand out fairly well against that. I don't know what to call the colour of this dial. It's sort of a biscuity thing. It looked orange on the original renders, but when I got it, it wasn't a disappointment, just more of a surprise. With the Citizen, by the way, the trim colouring was also available in blue and orange, but I went for the green, and I think I made the right choice. So, I hope I've told you everything you might want to know about these two rather nice watches. If I haven't, if I've left something out that you'd like to know, please tell me in the comments and I'll try and put that right. Just a couple of general remarks is that they do spend a bit of time in the relative boxes, but the Citizen tends to lose a little bit of time and the Tactical Frog gains a little. I do take them out reasonably frequently to adjust the date windows for different months, and so I've noticed that, but once I set them and they're out and about, they're perfectly good to work with, nice and accurate. So all I'll do is to wish you all a very nice Sunday and a great week, and I hope I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye for now.